Are you ready for the 2022 NTT IndyCar season? Let's get things rolling here in St. Pete with a second-year driver on the pole. McLaughin leads them to green. Power has clustered, and he's gone back to third. He's being challenged by VK. It's McLaughin. Herder coming up the outside in that yellow and black car, looking for the inside for turn 2. He can't get it done.
A big aggressive move from Colton Herta as the rest of the field seems to file through unabated. A little bit of tight action through turn 3, but it's a very clean start and a dominant performance into turn 3 and turn 4 from Scott McLaughin.
They fan out further back. That's Pato O'Ward, the young Mexican, the hard charger, going too wide where I just said there's not enough room for 2 through here.
Wow, that was aggressive on Simon Pagenaud. Super move from O'Ward in the Arrow McLaren machine.
Simon had to hit the brakes real hard. There's Dalton Kellett looking at the inside of turn 9, Alexander Rossi. That is not a place you pass, but very heads-up driving for Simon Pagenaud. Discretion definitely getting the better part of valor there, Townsend.
Well, everybody up front on red tires except for Will Power. The red tire is softer. It has more grip when it's new, more side-by-side. That's Jimmy Johnson in the blue Carvana car mixing it up. But Power right there on the black tires. I think that's why Will Power got so squirrely on the start and lost several positions.
So let's take you back to the start and have a look on the outside. Power, slow to get going.
Yeah, it looks like maybe he just got some wheel spin on that paint. You see the paint from the runway does not have as much grip as the normal asphalt does. We see Grosjean on the inside of Power. That's where the touch is. That's where the contact is. Both guys very lucky to get away with that, to be totally honest.
Marcus Ericsson looks for a move on Rinus VK. Gets it done in the Husky Honda for Chip Ganassi Racing. The Swedish driver is on the move, and here comes Grosjean. Grosjean on VK.
Guys, side by side through that chicane, through the 11-12. That doesn't work. That does not happen. Very, very aggressive move from Romain Grosjean, but a brilliant overtake from Marcus Ericsson. He got up to 5th from a starting place of 8th on that first lap, and this CGR car, this red and white Husky chocolate machine, is just on fire as Grosjean tries again down the inside into 1.
Nice clean pass from Grosjean, but here comes VK looking back to the outside. Decides to back out. Now Palou is thinking about going too wide with VK. Palou in that blue NTT car.
And Rahal, here comes Graham Rahal. Look at the 15, the white and blue car. Let's climb aboard. Squeezes VK out of the scene.
We talked about when will the red tires fall off. I think in the case of Rinus VK, we're seeing that moment right now. His pace is absolutely disappearing. He is in big trouble as you see the back of that 21 car sliding around.
As we see Will Power now moving up on Colton Herta into turn 1.
Inside move for Power. Remember the difference between these guys. Power on the black wall, the harder compound Firestone Firehawk tires, and the defending race winner who we ride with here on the Greenbridge Honda, Colton Herta on the softer compound reds. Dalton Kellett in that turquoise and black.
These two are teammates.
Oh.
AJ Foyt teammates, and Calderon puts it on the high side and holds the position. Look at this.
Need a big repair.
Kellett back on Calderon. Calderon with the over-under. So teammates they might be, but absolutely no teamwork here.
And this, unfortunately, is one of the 6 rookies this year, David Malukas, in the Dale Coyne Racing with HMD Honda. That is his race done.
Over in turn 4. See what happened here. I'm guessing he's off in the marbles. James, you just talked about the excessive marble buildup, that spent rubber. Malukas got high in that chicane, that fast chicane. Not sure how he got high, but as soon as he did, lost all tractions. The exact same crash we saw from Alexander Rossi here.
Look at that, look out. Pit lane is going to get busy.
Kevin, this is really going to flip the script on strategies. He's got McLaughin and his teammate Will Power leaving pit road there. Alex Palou at the front end of pit road. McLaughin does win the race of those who stopped, but it does flip the script because all of those teams, Lee, that were planning the 3-stop strategy, they all stayed on the racetrack. The 2-stoppers coming now.
All right, let's see how this plays out. Pretty interesting there between the teammates. That was nice and close.
How about Marcus Ericsson and Graham Rahal getting contact on pit lane? They were elbows out, shoulder to shoulder, in fact, contact.
Watch the white and red Honda. Oh, squeezes Rahal in between Grosjean and
Grosjean.
the wall.
Grosjean's just up against the concrete going, come on, man.
That wing's taking a beating so far as they ride on board with Graham Rahal coming out of the pits. You see Marcus Ericsson there. Contact just sandwiched between the two, nowhere to go.
And that enormous crowd is ready to see racing with Alexander Rossi at the head of the field. Sees that green first. That's Dixon, then Alex Palou, then Joseph Newgarden, then Simon Pagenaud.
Look at Rinus VK locking up there in the black and white Sonax car. treacherous conditions here at St. Pete on a restart because you can pick up so much spent rubber on your tires when they're hot, and you've got to burn them back off. But Rossi holds position. We know he'll have to pit soon, though.
And he said, well, the 10 goes back to my childhood as Herder on the inside of Power. That's turn 10, one of the trickiest turns on the track, and Power gave that to him.
Well, the interesting thing with VK coming to pit road here, he has been behind that 21, has Scott McLaughlin for so long. That's allowed them and everyone back there who pitted at lap 27 to save fuel. Now they're going to go as hard as they can, both with McLaughlin and Palou.
I know you were rooting for it to happen, Towns, but not going to be able to make it the rest of the way. Rinus VK is going to have to come in, and they're in the window if they get a big yellow, but no way they can make it home on green.
Right, so what do you do if you're Scott McLaughlin or Alex Palou? Do you gamble or do you follow and cover yourself? What do you do?
Well, Colton himself said that his car was falling off as the run continued. I don't think that's happening with Palou. And as we see, McLaughlin's jumped into the pits. Marty, are you down there?
There's the answer.
One lap of a little insurance here for Scott McLaughlin going a little bit further. As soon as VK pulled off the racetrack onto pit road, they told McLaughlin, go as hard as you can. So he got 2 extra laps. He has +1 lap on Colton Herta, who was sitting in 3rd on this strategy. McLaughlin has driven a terrific race. Now the question, can he pull off the win?
Well, he's going to have at least one less lap than Alex Palou. It looks like Palou's been learning from Scott Dixon.
Watch the blend here. Where's VK? Where's Herta? Looks like McLaughlin safely away. He's down in turn 4, and there comes VK at speed.
You see Alex Palou now has dived into the pits. He went 1 lap longer, and that is going to put him in a great position to try to leapfrog the number 3.
This is it. We're going to watch this stop, and then we're going to watch the blend. There it is. Look how close it is. Palou was unable to leapfrog Scott McLaughlin. McLaughlin's got a lap warmer tires. The 3 has the advantage.
Wow, that is a key moment right there. Huge sigh of relief for McLaughlin and the number 3 Team Penske team, but Palou has really improved his car through this weekend. He seems to get stronger in the race. If he can get to McLaughlin and be in that draft, he might be able to make a move.
Look what's happening on track here.
Will Power's got ahead of the Sonax Chevy, ahead of Rinus VK. The Verizon Chevy looking good.
The teammate of Alex Palou, Jimmy Johnson, has definitely held up Scott McLaughlin and closed that gap considerably. Scott's going to take a look now. Jimmy's making it tough.
This is a Jimmy Johnson we haven't seen mixing it up at the front. Gets out of the way for his teammate, but I saw Jimmy Johnson put his head down 2 laps ago. He started clicking off laps that were about a second faster.
3 laps to go here in St. Pete, and Palou is as close as he's been. This is tense stuff for Scott McLaughlin with his first career win on the line.
And Palou's just sitting there saying, I want to hit that button, I want to get on the overtake, but there's no way the team's going to let him. If he's that close on fuel, he would have to save that much more when he got around Scott, which would probably make him as vulnerable to getting passed back. So as a driver right now, Palou is in a painful situation.
I thought Palou was going to hit the fence. He got a little wide in the previous corner. It looked like he was sliding around, and for a second there, I thought he was going to get into the wall.
DeFrancesco is the next car on the list. Up ahead, there he is, just at the bottom of your screen.
It's going to be close. They're going to come to 2 laps to go. Devlin's only a few seconds up the road, and again, has every right to try and fight on the lead lap. Not that there's really any reason at this point. We'll see what happens when they catch there, but this is coming down to tenths of a second with only 2 to go.
There's Devlin DeFrancesco in the Andretti Autosport machine.
And once you get into turn 4, Diff, there's no place to go by until you get onto the back straight out of turn 9. So they're stuck here behind the 29 for a few more corners, and that is giving Alex Palou the opportunity to set up Scott McLaughlin coming down here. But again, neither driver has hit their overtake button for the last 2 laps.
DeFrancesco did not exit that last corner like a driver getting ready to let somebody by. He was sideways. It looks like he's going to try to hold on to his lead lap position.
I think the best chance Palou has, you're going to get through this chicane here and then go through that final corner, 13-14. He's got to get the power down and try to make that pass into turn 1. That's the best chance he has. He closes right up on his gearbox.
Hard as you want. Use overtake, whatever you want.
There we go. That's Kyle Moyer on the number 3 saying use overtake. You've got 1 lap to go. Let's keep this win in our column.
Stress to the max here. 1 to go. 1.8 miles is the difference between Scott McLaughlin being a race winner or not. That Dex Imaging Chevy has been brilliant. So has the Kiwi all weekend long. And he's dealing with Devlin DeFrancesco, one of 6 rookies in this race. Will it be a factor or will it not?
It seems like the gap between all 3 cars is kind of the same as you see Dev trying to hold on to it over the bumps there.
He was sideways last lap right here. He's sideways there again, exiting turn 9. He's not going to move out of the way.
He is the last car on the lead lap. And just being a little source of frustration for Scott McLaughlin as he sees his mirrors full of Alex Palou.
As frustrated as he is, that was pretty much Palou's last opportunity. He's going to be close, but this isn't really a place you pass. He's going to have to really get him off.
The 28-year-old Kiwi has sustained the pressure. Scott McLaughlin, he's got 56 Supercar wins.
Whatever you got here. To the
He is now an IndyCar race winner. From pole to victory lane, Scott McLaughlin does it.